Alright, as promised, this is the comparison video that I'm gonna make for the Spider-Man 1 and 2 from Hot Toys. Basically, I just made this to make people aware of, the differences between the two Spider-Man figures. If you already have this Amazing Spider-Man 1 and you're planning to pick up the Amazing Spider-Man 2 just like I did just recently, maybe this will give you, like a clearer sense whether you should do it or not. In my case, I had to do it. I do make videos, and now it's still up in the air whether I'm gonna keep both or I'm gonna sell one. If I ever do, honestly, I'm just showing you the differences in the box, the back side. I honestly like the first box. For my just personal preference, I like the first one better. The second one and the side, as they have this weird thing where the top box is it's not crooked, but it looks crooked when you take it out because of the angles. It's sort of the same for both, so I like that uniformity that they did. Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. So in here I'm just gonna show you what it comes with. So this is all that comes with the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Obviously this is not the exclusive version, but I don't think it's gonna make or break your decision from the canister. This is the Amazing Spider-Man 1. Obviously a lot less compared to the Amazing Spider-Man 2. But I guess the biggest difference, at least for me, is this head sculpt. Even though it's not a perfect head sculpt or not a good image of Andrew Garfield, in my opinion, I would still take the head sculpt instead of all these accessories. The backpack is great, but the other ones, they're just there for being there, I guess. I mean, they're not really necessary. I don't see myself displaying them using this, accessories. So yeah, I'd rather take the head sculpt, honestly. Now, as far as the figure itself, as you can see here, major differences. It's not like a straight up repaint or anything like that. No, not at all. I think even the body is different. As you can see, the new one is a lot wider. He's more muscular, a bit taller. As you can see here, the design is different as well. The materials that they use on the Amazing Spider-Man 1. You can see here he's all kind of one material, rubber. As you can see, he's taller. The head is a bit bigger. He's wider as well. As you can see, the shoulder, side by side here. Or you can see there. He's more muscular. He has more of this hero look, so to speak, on the Amazing Spider-Man 2. So you can see the logo. There's some breakage in the logo here, and it's one big material. And this one, the webbing is kind of embossed. It's different, although they're both stretchy materials, which it both has good articulation. I can tell you that right now. If you have the impression that the Amazing Spider-Man 1 sucks as far as articulation is concerned, no, it doesn't. You just gotta know how to move the figure. I guess I have the badge too, which the shoulder doesn't have any issues, but on the back, different logo as well. I guess I do like the first movie better. That one I can tell you. The second movie is a bit okay for me. It's not bad, but it's also not good. Another difference that you can tell here is the biggest difference is the hand. I'm getting out of focus here, but yep, there you go. I guess I'm a bit too close. But on the hand, on the Amazing Spider-Man 2, as you can see, it doesn't have any crease. It doesn't use that ball joint. I mean, I'm pretty sure it does, but it's well hidden because it's all one piece from the costume. Unlike this one, as you all know, the magnetized version. If you haven't seen the review, just check it out on my page. So this is how you change hands. You just pop out the outer half, and this one you pop out the entire hand. So you expose the ball joints, meaning the sleeves kind of goes up and down, unlike on the Spider-Man 2, which it stays attached. And you just plug it in just like so. It's not that hard. Although sometimes you're gonna grab the other hand because they would still fit. It would just kind of look funny, but overall it's really easy. And it gives you that good, like I said, look as far as the wrist is concerned, because you don't have that gap between the costume and the actual hand. I didn't put it properly So yeah, and also once you move the hand, the entire costume moves because it's, like I said, it's all connected. And this is how you put his webbing. So you get the ball joint, you kind of insert it there. Yeah, didn't put it the right way, so you gotta rotate it. You gotta make sure it's aligned to, the web shooter. So I guess I wouldn't call that a hindrance. As you can see, like the costume moves along once you insert it. The hands are pretty easy to install, mind you. It's not, it's not stiff or any figures like that. You just gotta work with it. But unlike this guy, if you put him properly, you won't even see the seam. Like there's like a seam, but you won't. So this is them, side by side, or right next to each other. Looks pretty good. You can even display them together. I myself doesn't like multiple figures because I think it's I wouldn't say a waste, but I don't have that much funds, and that much space to display. That's why I don't collect Iron Man figures. I have an Iron Man figure, but I would love to just focus on one. The only figure that I have double so far is the Batman, because I think the Batman Begins costume and the DX12, or the Dark Knight version suit is a lot different, that it warrants a different costume, and I'm a big fan of that movie. I like this movie as well. And as far as this, I guess it's comparable to that, because the costume is so different. Even though it's still red and blue, and it has it's not like a black Spider-Man, but it comes with a different accessory. Just like this one, you can display him with a Peter Parker head, and the other one you can keep as the comic book style Spider-Man. So if you're, I guess I'm just trying to justify on keeping both figures on my shelf. This is how I'm gonna display them for the most part. I'm just gonna not hook the other shoulder pads, but I like the movie and I like the character a lot, to a point where I'm willing to break that rule for him again. So I guess I'm gonna both keep them. I'm gonna put them up on sale, but I'm not gonna, on my local Craigslist, I'm not gonna ship them or anything on eBay. At least one of them, but I'm gonna price them like, how much would I take it? So if somebody buys it, great. If not, I'm gonna be happy to keep both of them, because I think they complement each other fairly well. That it's a good representation of each character in a different movie. And like I said, you can use the Amazing Spider-Man 1 as Peter Parker, and just the Amazing Spider-Man 2 as kind of like your regular web slinger. And I do have the Green Goblin as well, the old one from Spider-Man 3 from Tobey Maguire. So this is kind of like what's going on with my display. Obviously it's not my display area, but I'm just showing you what are the possibilities, kind of like them being tangled, fighting. Not the best, pose, so to speak, but it'll do. Hopefully this video would help you eventually decide whether you should get Spider-Man 2 or Amazing Spider-Man 1. But if I have to choose one, I would say the Amazing Spider-Man 2. I think the costume is classic enough that you can keep him in any way. But if you can pick up Amazing Spider-Man 1 for cheap, why not? Why not get both, if you could? Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Till next time.